Happy morning once again to everybody. Great afternoon and a wonderful evening. There can't be more powerful message or simplified message than what Patriji has just mentioned in that video. Meditation plus visualization is manifestation. Meditation is soul power, what we are saying, that quantum energy field power when we are becoming that. And then visualization is mind power. One is the driver of the non-dual nature of ourselves. Another is the driver of the dual nature of ourselves. Mind is the driver for this dual nature in this body, in this life. It is the ultimate instrument which got the authority, it's got that infinite power, so we can have this infinite way of experiencing duality. Soul power are this individual consciousness, the non-dual nature where we are all one, and it has this ultimate power to experience that soul or that energy body. So when we utilize these two, both being in the dual nature, in the non-dual nature, we are combining these two. So it's like we have a great mentor, the superhuman mentor with us, and we are there. As a leader, we are there. We have a superhuman mentor with us. And the superhuman mentor is ready to give it away because superhuman, ready to give it away. So we are manifestation then is we are not only using our power fully, but also using the superhuman's power. Right? Together we are doing it. The mentor is also continuously working for us, which is what happens in our organizations. We have always advisors, mentors, and they are always working for us. But in this case, the superhuman is so superhuman that it is much more powerful. It's not part of the mentor, it is the whole of the mentor. The superhuman is being given to us. So, dear friend, this science is always liberating to understand that we can create and manifest. So today, this week, in the limited time that we're available in this week, today we will understand all the steps combined. If thoughts and feelings create our reality, feelings is emotion. And the other way to say is our soul or the individual consciousness is a bundle of emotions. Our mind is a bundle of thoughts. Simple. Our soul is a bundle of emotions equal to bundle of experiences. Our mind is bundle of thoughts. So thoughts and feelings create reality is equal to then the power of mind is coming and then the power of individual consciousness is coming. So we got to alter these two, right? We got to alter these two so that we can create whatever that we want, not what we don't want. Because often the focus is on what we don't want. So friends, let's go into a meditation and then understand these complete steps of manifestation so that from tomorrow we can alter meditations to include this segment for manifestation that Patricia beautiful said, visualization. That we're going to add into that mind power into it. So far, if we see our meditation has been to empty the mind, so that we can become one with that individual consciousness energy field. So increase our power in that. Our heart elevation is about enhancing that emotion. The more higher the emotion, into our the soul empty, our individual consciousness is a bundle of emotions. Our soul is a bundle of emotions. So the more we enhance to a higher emotion, then the more greater expression of us that we are becoming. So we are doing that every day to experience the larger nature of ourselves because we drop our differences, so we become one, right? And so we're doing that heart elevation, we're doing this meditation, emptiness, to become empty, to experience energy truly. And then we do gratitude, which is still just another form, an extension of this heart elevation, where you are on a specific emotion, you're holding on to yourself in that gratitude, which is a heightened emotion, right? So we're doing that, all of it to enhance our soul power, our individual consciousness power. And so we want to add in the mind power, that is visualization. So we will want to understand as much as possible to do the science. And so from tomorrow, we'll add a variance to it. We'll add mind power to our manifestations. So relax yourself, dear friends. Once again, let's go into a breath mindfulness meditation. Those of you who are new, we are practicing Anapanasati, our breath mindfulness meditation, to be mindful of our breath, natural breath, given by Gautama Buddha, popularized by Patriji tremendously in the last 4 decades. We're practicing this technique, which is used by more than 50% of the world population, where the who is meditating, not world population. Most of the meditators who are practicing since the meditation, they're using this breath technique in many, many ways. Observing a normal natural breath. Our goal is to empty the mind When we empty the mind, we're emptying ourselves of this whole dual nature of ourselves, that the body, the environment, the people, our life events, all of that. So when we empty our mind, then we move away from the body, away from this life, and so naturally we start experiencing that energy field, which is our consciousness. So we experience that energy in many, many forms. So the goal of meditation is to empty the mind. Empty the mind so it has a natural benefit of gaining health, natural removing the stress, natural benefit of improving relationship because it takes away all the judgments, complaints, everything from about people. So that is a natural byproduct of getting health, getting good relationships. We'll understand a lot of that more next week about relationships. But those are byproducts, they come. But it's important that when we go into this meditation, become empty, then we are becoming that bigger, larger part of ourselves, experience it, increase the power of ourselves. And so a meditation is to empty the mind. The posture is simple, is to close your eyes, remove the specs, cross your fingers into fingers, rest your hands comfortably in your lap, rest your hands comfortably in your lap. I tend to speak sometimes very fast. So close your eyes, remove the specs, fingers into fingers, place your hands comfortably in your lap, cross your feet at ankle. So three things we do to still the body, and then we observe, take any point on the nose, here, 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 anywhere, anywhere, and then observe breath is going in and coming out. And as you observe, mind slowly becomes empty. As we observe, our attention may be taken away into the thought again. It is common because we have so many thoughts, thousands of thoughts. So when you recognize your thinking during the process of meditation, just bring your attention back to the breath. Right? Is thinking, you're suddenly gone off to thinking, bring your attention back to the breath. So this is the process. In the whole process, mind will pull you back into thought, and you got to pull yourself back into the breath. And so I will be guiding, which might help, and it helps many people during this process because it is not an expectation that one will become totally empty during the whole meditation. Not at all. So don't be harsh on yourself if you're a first timer. And before going into this anapanasati meditation, we keep your hands on the chest area, eyes still closed, legs still crossed, and then feel an heightened emotion of love or gratitude or compassion in our hearts. Follow my guidance actively for this process. Relax yourself, sit comfortably. Wonderful. So we are understanding about this whole manifestation, the most liberating aspect of science of meditation. Manifestation, if quantum field is saying that our thoughts and feelings create our reality, then where we left on Monday is that how do we change our thoughts and feeling to something that we want, something that can support our dreams and desires. Let me share a screen, and then sometimes it helps to have these visuals, or sometimes good to see each other and then talk. Let's go through this. So manifestation is about elevated thoughts and feelings or beliefs. Our mind is full of thoughts. So to be precise, we're talking about now conscious mind. There is mind is conscious mind, subconscious, unconscious. Now you equate mind is this conscious mind, which is got this most of these thoughts that are coming in and then going out, coming in and going out. The subconscious mind has got all these deep-rooted experiences that are stored, and as a result, it is giving where the deep-rooted emotions and experiences. That's where our limbic brain, the second brain, is there. That's why it's long-term. The long-term memory is there. Also, the emotional brain is there in the subconscious. So we're talking of the conscious mind. So mind is full of thoughts, repetitive. A lot of them are repetitive. A lot of them are negative. Where are they coming from? They're originating from this bed of our underlying bed in the subconscious, which has got all these memories that my whole life is waste. I'm totally unlucky person. These are these deep-rooted memories and beliefs that are formed in the subconscious, and so the bed is originating a lot of these thoughts that are coming in. So thoughts in the mind are draining our energy because everything that comes out and then also puts a signature, electromagnetic signature, drains our energy. So how is this happening? So many repetitive thoughts, and many of them are negative, which are coming out of these subconscious beliefs that are there. And repeated thoughts are strengthening the memory connection and becoming stronger. So the way the whole brain is learning, we will try to understand this in the next session or so. But the brain is learning every time we think something, every time we receive a stimulus, every time we learn. So when you read something, it's a stimulus. When you open a book, it's a stimulus, right? And when you see something, it is a stimulus. We hear something as stimulus. Every time we receive something, and then automatically the mind is trying to record it. So it is making a set of connections. So when I learn that what I see is this thing called fire, and then it has this capability to stay close to the ground, but it keeps going up. So when I learn something about this fire, and it is hot and it can burn and all that, so we are receiving, taking all that and then forming a set of connections. But when you repeat something, then the mind is intelligent to organize itself and then take more connections around that area where it earlier stored, so then the memory becomes stronger, right? So when you have these repeated thoughts, they're strengthening and they're making those connections stronger. When the connections are stronger, then it is trying to project that for us more and more. It is also taking a very important clue. So if the thoughts are not very supportive, then we are essentially using a lot of mind capability towards unsupportive or negative repetitive thoughts. So it's called cells that fire together, wire together. Anything that you repeat becomes more stronger and stronger. Anything that's more stronger is what is projecting and working for us. So these thoughts that we are receiving produce neurotransmitters, which are this called neuropeptides. These things are produced, and then which in turn go and trigger certain emotion. For example, if we while walking and if you see a dog, and if you are in the past chased by a dog, and because the time when the dog chased us, and then we record a memory, the moment we see a dog now, suddenly it goes and then produce that emotion that is associated with the dog that chased us long time ago. That emotion of fear, right? The emotion that suddenly the heart start beating up because we are just triggered off that emotion which is there recorded, saying that, oh, this dog is there now, is it going to charge it to give me again? That very thought is sufficient to go and pull back the long-term memory associated about this dog thingy, and so automatically it pulls a certain level of emotion in the body. That emotion in the body is simultaneously triggering a signal that goes into the cognitive mind and then produces a certain level of feeling associated with this dog chasing. And then so the emotion is felt both ways in the body where physically we see something and in the mind because we also they start getting scared more. So it is a single stimulus that happened by looking at the dog just as a stimulus, which is like comes as a thought, now translate your feeling or emotion in the body and mind, and then which will produce more thoughts. Now this dog, oh, immediately we start recollecting. Oh, my friend told me if it is an whatever that ferocious type dog is. Oh, if it is this type dog, it can anytime charge and then it can really bite hard. So that thing comes now, right? Because they're all stories that are recorded. So one thought leads to another thought, leads to another thought, right? So it will produce some more feeling, and so it goes on, dear friends. So thoughts that come in are producing because of the based on amount of memories that we have, they produce more feelings associated with that thought, and then that can produce more thought again. So it goes as a loop. The thinking feeling loop is continuously there because our conscious mind is or the conscious mind, that frontal brain is obviously very closely connected with the limbic brain or subconscious. So the idea is to break this thinking feeling loop. The idea is to keep ourselves away from distractions. How do we keep ourselves away from distractions? So we are, this is where we have to change the thoughts, and then of course we have to change the feelings. Now changing the thought is by saying that let's move them into an elevated thought. So let's avoid distractions. Can we avoid our distractions of various things? Anytime we see a dog, anytime we see this and that, then we might be going back to the memory of the past. But how do we avoid various distractions that are coming in? So understand the nature of the thought. There are four types of thoughts, right? Miraculous, positive, negative, and disaster. This is how positive is classified. Some people may classify them into more different types, right? It is simple to understand them at this level. Miraculous and positive. Miraculous is that we are, let's say, doing a project, right? And then you just got this $1 billion project for you. And thinking miraculously and saying, even though you may not have any kind of much experience, but a sales team went and sold And then so you may not have as a delivery engine, then you may not have enough experience, but then you are miraculously thinking. You might have had a sale, of course, sales wouldn't probably have sold something if you didn't have anything, right? You always have to have some capability. Hopefully they're doing the right thing by doing that much, right? We have some little capability, but then based on that, of course, we all write nice white papers and then immediately goes to the client, right? Saying that we are glorify it. So the sales sells it, a big deal, but you've got little experience. So miraculous thinking person is saying, is got all is equipped with these tools of, yes, I can do it, and I know that I'm going to learn along the way, but absolutely it is possible because we have done in the past something like this where we had little experience, but we still pulled off such a big project. So we can be again the same. So he's putting his attention on something of the past where it is made possible, right? So they put that, and then they think miraculously and says, we're going to deliver and then get the best satisfaction from the client, satisfaction rating from the client. And so the miraculous person is thinking that way, even though underlying capability may be lesser, but the miraculous person has a miraculous thinking, and so he goes forward and then executes the project and actually manifests exactly that way. They deliver it much early. A positive person is thinking, oh no, so these guys have sold it. How is it possible? Can we do it? Maybe. I think it's going to fail, but we will learn on this client side. We're going to build it, put it there, and then see. I'm sure there could be failures. It's got to happen because these kind of big things will always have a lot of failure. So you'll deploy it, the team deploys it, there'll be failures. But however, they'll figure it out and then rectify it, and then at the end of the day, still gain the client's confidence. So the miraculous person, for example, delivered in 6 months. The positive person perhaps is taking 9 months with some kind of experiences that are not so pleasant, right? There's some kind of beating and shouting, maybe as possible. You get the idea. The negative is now you're on the other side. How could these guys sell? We can't do it. It's not possible. All I have is just 5 people, and then you've got to now deliver this with 500 people, and then how do I skill them up? It's just not possible. It's going to fail. Let me tell my management, you signed a wrong deal. It's going to fail. This is how we think. We start delivering, and then you're going to get problem after problem after problem. So it may work one day, it'll fail after a week. It'll work again, it'll fail after a week. After an year or 2 years, client says you can pull it off. It's a failure. Disastrous person is just not even moving forward. He says utter rubbish, utter bullshit. It's just being sold. It's just not going to work. It's going to crash. That's it. It's the end. And they go in, but management, of course, push them. So they go in, and then day one, it's a total disaster. That client system crash. They can't do anything, and then you're just out of the whole client for perhaps in the next 5 years. So there's various kinds of thoughts. We can visualize them in any angle. Miraculous, positive, negative disasters. We are always in one thought or the other, right? We're always in many of these things because based on our past experiences, the best way is to avoid and go away from these various kinds of thinking. And most time, like I said, remember that I said 80% is negative thinking. How do we keep a conscious mind away from some of this? Is to identify and set solid goals for ourselves. A lot of time, the reason a mind wanders is because we don't have a solid reason. We don't have an idea, a goal of where we are going. We got to set ourselves a goal, a dream. If we say, hey, I'm in my position, I want to scale to a vice president pretty quickly. And the way to do that, you know what? I have to deliver a large project. If you have a goal, a dream, then you take that question that came, somebody sold a big project and came in your way, you take it as an opportunity because it's already there as your goal. You're already thinking in the direction, so you naturally move into a miraculous positive state as opposed to negative disasters. Because we don't have goals, and then so when opportunities come, then we actually go into this negative side because oftentimes mind is focusing on the things that are not working, unwanted. We look at the TV and then there is an accident somewhere. Our attention is on it. So then we start giving commentary about it. That officials are not good. The government officials don't work. This government is this way. People are rash, this and that. We keep talking on things that are absolutely of no use, but then the whole negative is goes into the negative connotation and they start talking about it, polluting the minds of people around too. This whole groupism is polluting people. It is there with everybody. When we don't have enough support, that we create groupism, right? We try to tell this person, that person. It's called polluting the mind. Try to muster support so that I can go to the boss and say, you know what, we all don't want to do it, so I want to do this. It's called groupism, right? Politics. If anytime, if you're not able to speak up and then speaking to this person, that means you're trying to pollute the minds of others. When you have a problem, then rather than trying to go to and then to the person where it can be solved, we start talking on the sideways where problem solution cannot be given, but only we can pollute negativity, right, dear friends? So, but why is it all happening? Because we're not objective. We forget. A lot of people come to service. They have an objective that we want to grow, expand their consciousness, but we forget that objective, that goal, and then we start talking all these things. We start politicizing, we're creating, we're talking here, there, where there's no solution, right? Many of times we don't have objectives. Number one, when we have objectives, we forget. Why do you forget? Again, that's linked to, that's the start of day one class. We have goals, but we forget because our subconscious is driving. We'll understand that subconscious of beliefs is driving. We'll understand that. But first part is conscious mind is easily getting distracted. And the way to avoid the distraction, dear friends, is to set a clear goal and a vision. Something that is going to inspire us. It's got to inspire us big. It's going to be some little thing. If you are drawing 1 lakh rupees and say, okay, I'm just going to get 5% more. Small things have no goals at all. They don't even inspire us. It just naturally is going to happen, right? Set up some big goals. If you actually go to this Banari Amman Institute and then look at it, then you understand that, yes, this is what kind of goal I want to set. You create something big and beautiful. When you go to Shankara Foundation Hospital, and I saw this beautiful chart on the screen somewhere in one of the walls that Amnisha so beautifully explained, the whole process of identifying somebody who's got an eye challenge to all the way till the person is fully given the vision, right? And the steps that are involved, and then how the whole system is moving meticulously to making sure that the best of the best is care is given, the person is going back with a great vision. So those are the inspiring visions that you set up something large, a larger, clear goal that this is what I want to do. So a vision and a goal that inspire us. We at Buddha's CEO Quantum Foundation, we have huge goals. We are saying nothing shorter than 100 million leaders worldwide. We want to inspire 100 million leaders worldwide, aspiring leaders and leaders. We want to inspire them in the next 10 years, 100 million of them. If 100 million leaders get inspired and everybody touches 100 lives, we touch the entire planet. So this is our goal. And then there's nothing wrong in dreaming, dear friends. So we got to create a vision and a goal that inspires every part of us and then drive us up. When we wake up in the morning, we got to get inspired. So meditation is giving us clarity for a goal setting. If you're thinking this much, meditation is expanding our horizon suddenly big. If you think that I got to raise 50 lakh rupee capital, now with meditation, you think 5 crore capital. I have to raise 5 crore capital. We think big, we dream big, because meditation is moving us from limited thinking to unlimited. More and more clarity will come because it's going to tell us that, yes, I'm taking care. Lots of messages are coming, insights are coming, people are helping me. So why not? Why can't I do? So we take a goal and then we dream every hour with the deep feelings about it. So we got a dream. So this is that mind power, that visualization that Patricia talked about, is that we dream about it as if it's happening for us, as if it's happening for us right now, every bit. The more we dream, the more we are creating a stronger electromagnetic signature. Now, dream with what? Dream with a lot of feeling, as if it's happening, right? We close our eyes and say, yes, next year there is this 10,000 leaders all together meditating, and then all of together coming together into an auditorium, talking, exchanging ideas of how to impact their environment, how to impact their communities. So there is that big event that's happening. We're all are visualizing, we're all are coming together. Everyone is exchanging, everyone is joyous, everyone is saying, yes, I can support you. Everything is about selflessly giving. So visualize that, and then when you realize you get such a feeling, we got to get goosebumps. When you visualize, you got to get goosebumps as if it's happening for you, dear friends. So what is the feeling got to express that time in visualization? Love, gratitude, compassion, appreciation, joy, all of that. We'll understand a little bit more about the visualization tomorrow. But the point is, we meditate regularly and then take a goal and then visualize about it, dream about it every minute, every bit of time. What I mean every minute is, figuratively speaking, visualize about it all the time. At least once in the morning, once in the night, dream about it. Dream and visualize with a clear goal. Now, many say, I don't know what my goal is. We'll get there. We'll get there in the week 5, understand the purpose, and then how meditation is helping us improve our clarity, how to go into the flow. But then, and for them now, you understand, take something and then start. So create a goal, set a vision of the future that is going to inspire, and then dream about it every minute. I want you to just recollect what I've said, write down a few points. So far, what we heard, and the manifestation, whatever we heard, can you just take a pen and then write it down, or chat onto your screen? You can send a message to your friend. You're parts of the WhatsApp groups. Could just write a few points of what we have learned. They're elevated thoughts. What are the core points that we learned? Whatever message that you may send to your friend right now could be the life changing for them. So don't be shy of it. Just send it off to them. As you type, send that message. This is an elevated thought. And then the moment you have inspiring goals, automatically we're moving into the positive and miraculous territory of thinking. Okay, dear friends. So one is elevated thoughts, is dreaming about the vision of the future. So visualization. So meditation and visualization is to move us into an elevated, constantly thought. So replace that negative thought, right? Visualization. Then second is, so this is the power of the mind, right? So beautifully said. Now, and apply it. Now, what is this power of the soul, right? The power of the soul is about, I said soul is a bundle of emotions. So the heart is the representative of the emotions. A body is the representative of emotions, right? So emotions and feelings are there. So these limiting emotions that are there. So basically, what is it? I mean, we are consciousness and we are unlimited, right? We can, anything is possible in that quantum field. But then who is limiting us? We are limiting ourselves. With what? With all those deeper memories and feelings that are there in the past, record of the past. Because of the various experience of life, right? The moment we had seen 2, 3 times dogs chasing, then we say every dog is always chasing. It's a limiting belief, right? So that's it. We come to a generalization principle and says that every dog is a dangerous thing. So when the dogs are there and then outside, then slowly every dog is dangerous. Every dog is going to bite us. Will translate slowly to an education to the children as they grow up and say, hey, be careful. Don't step out if the dogs are there. A limiting belief. The child does not know and says, okay, my parents told me dogs are there, I can't go out because dangerous, so they don't go out. They develop that fear, right? So limit ourselves. By doing so, what are we doing? We're limiting our potential, right? We're limiting our potential because we don't even go out and do an experience. And so we don't even take on many opportunities that may come when you do that walk. So limiting emotions develop a limiting beliefs, which is a personality. And that's what limiting the power of our consciousness, because that's our thoughts and feelings project our reality. So if you have these limiting beliefs and all our thoughts are coming out of that, and so they project the same reality. So we got to reprogram our limiting belief. We got to remove these limiting beliefs, program them with something more substantial, something more supportive. So that's how we actually take advantage of this power of soul, that infinite consciousness, right? So personality is limited by these beliefs that create over and over again anything that we experience over and over again. If we go into a company and then you're a fresher and then you join, and then if you went ahead and tried to do a new proposal, 5 times you did it, and all the time the egoistic or otherwise an ignorant manager have told, this is not going to work. Don't come back to me. No, you're giving me something, but don't work. If they told you 5 times, you're slowly going to form a belief that this company is not going to encourage me with creativity. A belief will form, right? So, and then the moment we do that, then what happens? Once we have a belief, then you are constantly projecting, and as a result, you pull back from creativity. Even if you have a direct opportunity to create and do differently, then you say, nobody's going to encourage me. So this company does not provide creativity, slowly translates to nobody actually allows me to be creative. What is on a company with a person with a single manager to a company it became, and then slowly with more experiences, it becomes a generalized trap of on the world. People don't allow, encourage creativity. So let's just do what they're asking. That's it. We become mechanical. So we limit our potential. When you become mechanical, you limit your potential. So personality is typically created by the age of 30 to 35 years. And it continues to grow. So what are these personality core beliefs? We have to work very hard. We have to work every moment. We have to keep ourselves occupied with things that we love. So I'm not at any moment saying that if hard working is to work every moment is absolutely required, because we don't waste time. There's no worry, no hurry, but don't waste time is there. But doesn't mean that everything must be hard work. We have to be smart. If we have a process of 20 steps, we can't figure it out each time. Smart work is to document it, and then every time what we learn, document it so that next time we repeat it, right? We do smart work. But if you say men have to work hard is the only way, so when certain things come to you very quickly, then we start rejecting it. I come from a poor background. Women have disadvantage. So these are all different, are the limiting beliefs which are limiting us from accessing the full potential of opportunities that are coming our way. So 95% of who we are is defined by our personality. So conditioning is the main reason. That means more and more times it's repeated. More and more times the parents tell us, teachers tell us, our managers tell us, and then so we repeat them, and as a result, so our friends tell us, so we sort of come to a conclusion that this place is not good, the person is not good, so we make all kinds of general statements, right? So when it comes to conditioning, it's becoming an experience of life. It's going into the subconscious. These are all what is called samskaras, or the chittas is all there. It is coming from the experience of life as longer memories that are stored into the subconscious, unconscious, and it is carrying forward from one to the other, right? So then now you're stepping into this power of this soul, which is basically reprogramming our subconscious, unconscious minds, right? And so what do? We got to reprogram it. And then how do you reprogram it? We got to change this personality, change these beliefs. And how do we do that? Now the beliefs are various things, expectations, assertions, assumptions, but they're all various forms of it. We don't need to understand this part. But we want to, in order to move into change, reprogram it, we got to go into higher emotions, higher feelings. So that they're done by two, three things. Well, core thing is developing empowering beliefs. So what is that we need to do? Meditation, but we got to have right wisdom. Here we got to rewire our brain circuits with the right wisdom. There is enough for everybody is a abundance thinking. Our normal thinking where people have told is, hey, make the hay while the sun shines, and is what we've been applying, saying that it's there right now, use it, is great, but it is not. But applied it in a negative sense and say, oh, there is a limited, so take care, you got $1, so save it for future, and then the person starves themselves now, but then only saves for the future. We got to understand that the nature is always taking care of us. If you are able to live present moment, it's always taking care. It's always taking care. We work with that confidence that there's abundance for everybody, enough for everybody. There's no complaining. So there's we got to expand our knowledge. If you say limited is there, then dominance comes into picture, right? The whole country boundaries are done because of that. Everybody's trying to protect their resources, they're limited in nature. So then we try to dominate others. Can I take more? Can I protect mine and then dominate and take more? So that's where it comes. The moment we have separations, obviously, because the limited feeling is there, we separate from each other, right? Competition is the same because we feel that there is a limited, so I got to go after, and so I got to dominate the other person. So we have all kinds of slandering, and that uncertainty and fear we inculcate into the client's minds, pollute the client's minds. But that's not what we are. So there's all limited thinking. So we got to rewire our brain circuits with the right wisdom. That's why, dear friends, we're emphasizing so much on reading books, so that our deeper subconscious memories, that the limiting beliefs will reprogram automatically. We reprogram, right? We read about Mother Teresa, we read about, say, Indira Gandhi, we read about any other women leaders, then we know that I'm not limited. If I'm feeling that I'm limited, then I'm not limited. We inspire ourselves automatically and then remove that limitation that, okay, as a woman, I can only do so things, right? There are many more leaders. right? So right wisdom, and then second is this: we can help ourselves by developing these empowering beliefs, which are to find a possibility. We'll understand this maybe on Friday, right? Developing empowering beliefs where we can reprogram the deep-rooted things that we have. If I say I don't have resources, I'm come from a poor background, so I can't make it in life, then we immediately take an inspiring example and say, if Sri Rajinikanth, the actor, the most popular, if he can make it from a poor, humble background in big into life, I can make it to take an inspiration from somebody, right? And then we make it big. So we take that and then make it an affirmation with a feeling. So that's how we develop an empowering beliefs, dear friends. So it's putting all of this together, dear friends. The manifestation science then is, stay with me, right? We want to close this 5-point formula. One, we have to be meditating, because we saw the meditation in 2 3 slides. Meditate so that we have a lot of energy. We are saving a lot of energy. Meditation is helping to save energy, so increase the mind power. Meditation is helping us connect into this intelligence, so it increases the soul power. So recognize that intelligence of quantum energy field, which is that greater part of ourselves, and spend much time into it so that we can access its power, right? What is the accessing power means? Becoming open to many possibilities, having miracles happen, the most unexpected happen into our life. Suddenly things show up. Many people have said, I just thought about it, and suddenly out of nowhere, like, we saw Ramesh Bafnaji sharing that. I thought about it, and then somebody came forward and then said, I have land, so let's have a deal. Within an hour or so, I finished a deal, right? Which is talking about maybe 100 crore deal potentially. The all happened so quickly. It's a miracle, right? Things happen. So when we are with this emptiness, as much as possible, we're acting with potential. Number two. So that is taken care of by meditation. Then number three is setting this clear vision of the future and then dream about it. And then number four is reprogramming our beliefs and expanding our consciousness by reading and then continuously visualizing and reprogramming, right? Number four. And then five is that, of course, then we are accepting the reality, meaning because we accept that our today is based on yesterday and that tomorrow will be based on today. So what is happening to me right now is because I've set out so much in emotion in the past. So we continue to accept, and then as we regularly practice, so that we get a reality. So from tomorrow, we're going to try to introduce number 3 and 4, right? And then introduce a variation of visualization into the our meditations, so that we can actually go active, not only access the power of this infinity, but also start applying a mind power called visualization, right, friends? So that is the manifestation sense formula. We'll provide some of the slides. It's always good to understand the science. Do not worry about, there's a lot of information given, but however, I'm always doing a 3-day program at the end of the 6 weeks to go in deeper into this detail, while we'll continue to learn a little more in this rest of the week for this week. So with that, dear friends, let me take a concluding message. Is Karthikeyan sir there? Sir there.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, sir.
I am very much part of your show.
Yes, I was just trying to say it's
Enjoying
yes,
the whole thing beautifully.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Your closing comments. I think when you left.
Anything more to be said on this? I don't think so. I think it will be very impetuous on my part to make any more comment on a very powerful message you have given. Let us carry that message, digest it, absorb it. I told you after your meditation and the talk, I think it will not be proper. I don't feel need for it or competent to do that now. Thank you very much. It was beautiful. Yesterday evening we missed you. Lawrence handled it very beautifully. Again, Akshita and Maha Pradeep, wonderful. We missed you all right, but she handled it beautifully.
Yes, sir. Actually, I was in the youth program, so we had
Yeah.
a very good participation yesterday. It increased the numbers, so I think
How many were there?
about 800 in the Zoom, about 700 plus, and then on the live, we had about 800 people join us.
Yeah, that is amazing.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful.
Yes, yes.
Wonderful.
Most certainly, it increased from day one to day two. So quite.
Wonderful. That's miraculous. The expansion, miraculous. That's good.
Yeah.
More and more success, more and more energy to you. Success. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That's great, dear friends. So we will, as customary, so we will take some more questions or anything just after this. So stay there.
Sir, we have Rachna Kirti.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Yes.
Hi,
Archana,
Vinabam.
Hi, Rachna.
good to see you.
Experience. Good to see you too, sir.
Yes.
Uh, yeah, coming to experience part, yeah, I've become a very happy kid now throughout the day. I really like myself right now. My confidence has gone up comparatively, and I'm able to be more productive than before. Little, but yeah, I'm able to see the change. Also, I had a doubt in my mind, ki, uh, manifestation in case of manifestation, I have a goal. So whenever you say that, whenever I imagine that or whenever I picture it, I should get goosebumps. I'm trying to do that, but the intensity has been reducing from day one. I don't know if it's a sign that I'm not meant to be there, or I'm a little confused there. I don't know how to take
If,
it.
if you are observing intensity reducing, then think of the goal. Go
Yeah,
back.
whenever first in the
Back
beginning when I used to think of it,
and I'm saying go back
I
to the drawing board.
sir.
Go back to your drawing board and then think about your vision board and think about the goal itself. Is that still very important? Are you still excited about it?
Yes.
If you're not excited, then slowly it diminishes. Our experience, our feeling diminishes slowly if you're not, it's not too important for you. Perhaps that's why. It's tough to accept it because on one side we already committed, right? We wanted to do that. But many times this is the thing. One is we went through the mind-based model, mind game, but then our heart is trying to not give us that feeling. So I know it is tough. Perhaps they're saying, what is he saying? How can I just let go of this goal? But think about it actively. Let's talk. Okay. But a general thing is that. General thing is to, if our feelings over a period of time are reducing on that instead increasing or at least staying the same, every time you think about it, you got to feel good about it, right? Feel great about it. And so then you are on it. But if it's reducing, you're having tough time to bring up feeling about it, then of course you got to think actually about the goal itself, whether it is the right one or should I have to alter it in a different any way. Okay, maybe make it bigger, right? Oftentimes it is small enough, it's not exciting. Maybe make it bigger, right? If it is of that nature. Make it inclusive of part of something larger. That's another way to think about.
Hello, Vani madam, and hello, Chandra sir. I have attended the last manifestation 3-day session. So in that I had manifested a few things. So I read one of the book, You Are the Placebo by Dr. Joe. So in that on page 93, I think I read that the South Asians are genetically predisposed toward the certain health conditions like diabetes and blood pressure and all those things. So I worked all the time on that manifestation session, that this in that book it was written that you can change your genetics, which was in the epigenetic, that you can change the DNA of your cell, and you can change the cell formation by attaching the CH3 to the protein. So I kept manifesting that, and I also worked on my diet, and of course I did a lot of exercises, and then I did my blood work. So my doctor told me that I'm the only South Asian male in which she has seen the reversal of the readings in a positive way. So I'm working on that theory to prove that there is no such thing as genetically predisposed towards certain things by being South Asian male. So that is part of manifestation, the book reading, and all the other knowledge that I have gained through their 40-day classes that I've been attending. This is my third 40-day batch class, and I have attended the manifestation. And another thing, what happened was that I was manifesting that I will be doing the construction in my house for the basement. I was manifesting it for a very long time. Finally, I don't know how it all of a sudden happened that in the month of November, I completed the basement and now it's fully ready. It's in that 3-day session, one of the manifestation I had written was the construction of the home basement. At that time, there was no possibility it looked, but within a month, things happened. And in another month, it just happened that in November, the construction is complete. So I have some more manifestations, and I'm sure they will happen as we continue to practice this meditation and manifestation. Thank you for the guidance. Thank you, sir.
Wow, wonderful, Vinayji. So nice to hear that you're creating an inner reality quite strongly, particularly around healing. Healing is the one which is the last one, right? Our thoughts change, so energy vibration change, ultimately in the body to change. So glad. What is the condition? If you would tell, what was the condition you're trying to?
So my glucose reading H1BAC, which is a 3 months average, was 6.7. So based on the statistics, you are pre-diabetic or a diabetic. But then when I did this after a few months, this time after attending so many meditation classes, it went to non-diabetic. So it went to 6.2. So I'm working to prove to my doctor that there's no such BS as genetically predisposed towards the towards certain conditions being a South Asian. I think it has nothing to do with that. It is purely what you eat, what you manifest, and how you exercise and how you change your beliefs. So after reading Dr. Joe Dispenza and attending your session, it was very clear that you can manifest practically anything and realize the energy blockages in your body, which we learned in chakras. Now I feel that the blockages are slowly dismantling. And I've started reading the Living with Himalayan Masters. So it is very clear that what our beliefs have been for years and years is totally baseless. It has no scientific reason. It's just we have come to learn from our friends and other sources, and we come to believe that. But we have never read these books. All we have read is ABC and engineering books and management books. But these are the subtle books which we have never come across and nobody has recommended, which I only found out in these manifestation and meditation session, that such kind of abundance of knowledge is there, which nobody teaches in the universities, in top schools, or even universities which are known to be the epitome of education. So I believe that this knowledge is more informative and more beneficial to people than what we actually study all our life. Yes, that is, we need to make some earning, but this is something can transform. So I call 2020 as my life-changing year. So what I was before, I'm no more the same. And going forward, my life is going to be completely different than what I was before. Thank you, sir.
Wonderful. What a lovely understanding. That's why I said everybody who goes to this program is their spiritual birthday. Okay?
That's right, sir.
We have physical birthday, spiritual birthday. Okay? We all have, and as we increase years there, we increase years. So thank you, Vinay. Great. And we got to document some of your experiences. I know we have Jagdish helping us document a book of experience. We're going to publish volume 1, and part of that will sure have to take some of your experiences and more into the manifestation chapter. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for all your vision and service to the humanity at large. I don't think so that any amount of appreciation or contribution can suffice that. It goes beyond the physical realm of humanity. Thank you, sir.
Sir, we have Raghu Ramalingam ji.
One last one. I think we have every day 8 a.m. Book clubs, right? We have book club today also. Do you know?
Yes,
Yes.
we are having.
Yes. Yes. So let's have the last one. Yes.
And from the today's manifestation, when you are sharing about the vision of creating 100,000s of leaders who can contribute at least 100 people, I'm seeing myself in one of the things for teaching the meditations. And the second one is when I'm hearing about the Vinayji's vision, it is not only individually, everyone, just like how Ramdevji bought the yoga, and Batriji and Chandraji, how the meditation is practical, the day-to-day life. Similarly, our Ayurveda also. Only any emergency for that, we'll go surgery, we'll go to for the doctor. For the rest of the things, without medicine, we can heal ourselves with the energy healing by cleaning that chakras, cleaning that auras, and also removing the blockage within a day. Within not only the day, within 2 hours, each and everyone we can have that power. So I'm seeing myself for the contribution for that. Thank you very much.
Wonderful, Raghuji. Yes. Anyway, of course, it's all world is going to be using vibrational medicine or energy medicine. It's called, right? So many people are doing the work in this.
Yeah.
And everything. See, if a science is discovered, it is by its invention by us. We as creators, we've discovered science, so everything has got a place.
Yes.
And so is the case with medical science has a place, but then as we realize that it need not be the only thing that sort of drives our health, right? And in fact, many of other alternate medicine is got to drive, and medical science, of course, has a place of dealing with acute emergencies.
Yes. Charity start from home. For me, our Buddha family, those who are doing that meditation, they will not have any health issues. Everyone will experience that energetic health. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, dear friends. Always great to discuss and then have those stories. It's so nice to hear Vinay's story. It inspires us, right? If a knowledge is put to practice and you have been doing sincerely, right? Of course, I know you said it, but it is more to prove to ourselves or more to understand ourselves that you're doing it. So as a way for others to inspire. So it inspires us that when you apply the knowledge and say, this is the result you're getting. That's why I want these experiences to inspire me, inspire all the Buddha Seva members, inspire Karthikeyans and everybody else to do more of it. So thank you all. And Badri Prasad, yes, you raise your hand, so we'll still do it. Come on.
Very good morning to everybody. And just a small thought I read somewhere. Luck happens when opportunity meets the prepared minds. And what I heard earlier was very, very insightful. Very insightful. And just one more information I wanted to tell. Like recently, again, I saw on Netflix a documentary called Heal, which also features Joe Dispenza, where he briefly explains how he cures himself from multiple fractures on his spine without undergoing the surgery. So that was a changing moment for him. That was a very wonderful documentary I saw. And it was like without undergoing surgery, or they featured so many of the patients who had some patients with terminal illness, some patient who had cancer, which is a 4th degree,
Yeah.
and they completely got healed. It's a wonderful thing. And secondly, long time back, there was a book called Dianetics. I don't remember the author. Very, very long time back, maybe some 10, 15 years back. I just read that book briefly. It's completely about our body's intelligence and and how one can heal himself without going for the medicines, and how body naturally heals. So that is one thing. That's about it.
Okay, that's great, Vadi Prasad. So thanks for that information. So you called it Heal, right? The movie name is
Yes, yeah. The documentary name is Heal.
Joe Dispenza's books are all about several of these stories, but it's great to have a visual about all of them putting together as a movie. Wonderful. Thank you. What
Yeah.
do you do, Badriji?
I'm into business of orthodontic business. Like we are into imports, distribution of orthodontic products across India.
Okay.
We started very, very small some 20 years back. And now we are present across India.
I see. Wonderful.
So we are in a geographical center of Karnataka, place called Davangere.
I see. So you're from Karnataka, Davangere. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you all. Have a great
Thank
day.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.